New Zealand, Site Location by Jason Tibbs. Please take a second to review the video that has been provided. The geography is ideal for a location for an action movie. It is founded on two islands, spectacular glaciers, rugged mountains, vast plains, rolling hillsides, subtropical forests, volcanic plateaus, and miles of gorgeous sandy beaches. New Zealand's climate is large temperature climate. While the far north has subtropical weather during the summer, the island alpine areas of South Island can be as cold as -10 degrees in the winter. Most of the country lies close to the coast, which means mild temperatures, moderate rainfall, and abundant sunshine. The currency is counted in dollars, and one New Zealand dollar is worth 71 cents. We could save 30 cents on the dollar for items bought in New Zealand. According to the tradingandeconomics.com, the gross domestic product in New Zealand was worth $199.97 billion in 2014. The GDP value of New Zealand represents 0.32% of the world's economy. GDP is New Zealand's averaged $52.65 from 1960 until 2014, reaching an all-time high of $199.97 billion in 2014 and a record low of $5.1 in billions in 1968. GDP in New Zealand is reported by the World Bank Group. The GDP per capita has a slow incline in the GDP and a large incline in the health. The increase in the riches has grown greatly since the 1990s. Wealth distribution is very high in the rich community. Only 20% is in the low population. ISIS seems to be the only real enemy of New Zealand. They have had threats just like any other country. The labor force is important to New Zealand to show its capability to produce goods. The labor force tends to stay relatively steady. Men, women, and many children of the age 16 and above go to the workforce, creating the capital for the country of New Zealand. Owing to the quarterly increase, headline inflation rose 0.1% in Q4 of 2015 and 0.4% in Q1 in 2016. Annual average inflation remains unchanged in quarters 4's 3.3%. Focus Economic Census forecast penalties expect inflation to average 1.6 in 2016. Buses, airplanes, and heli-taxis are main sources of transportation in and out of the country and getting around the country. Buses and heli-taxis transport you from cities to the mountains, and air travel is the main source of transportation entering the country. Milk, cheese, and butter are the three major exports in New Zealand, with 25% of the exports being these goods. Electronic equipment imported from China is the #1 import to New Zealand. I feel that all in all, with the breathtaking scenery, the intense mountain ranges, and water, New Zealand is a perfect place to shoot our next action-packed movie.